The House of Representatives finally has a new speaker. Took more than a dozen votes to elect Republican Kevin McCarthy from California. McCarthy claimed the speaker's gavel after midnight, culminating 4 days of disarray and dissension in the chamber not seen since the Civil War. The infighting led to tense moments, harsh words on the House floor during the 14th vote. McCarthy had to flip more than a dozen conservative votes to give him the majority that he needed.
And now the hard work begins. What we do here today, next week, next month, next year, will set the tone for everything that follows.
Newly elected members of Congress were also sworn in, but a debate and vote on a rules package was delayed until Monday. The new House rules, which will be created next week, may be the bigger story. To win over his detractors, McCarthy had to agree to relinquish some of the very powers that he will need to lead. CBS 58's Frank Healy spoke with a political expert about how this all may play out. Hello, Frank.
Hey, Bill. Political science experts nationally and here locally say the concessions made by Speaker McCarthy mean this Congress could face a lot of trouble acting in many ways, something they say was already the case before this happened due to such a narrow majority for the Republican majority.
What all of us are used to is that American politics are either or.
UW-Milwaukee Professor Emeritus of Political Science Mordecai Lee says what happened over the past 4 days may show that the Democrat-Republican dichotomy is weaker than everyone thought.
I think what we've seen over the last 3 days is maybe the Republican Party is breaking into two parties.
20 to 21 Republican representatives, with people like Florida's Representative Matt Gaetz in the spotlight, holding out on installing Speaker McCarthy over issues like raising the national debt ceiling, something Lee says usually isn't a big deal.
If you're the governing party, you sort of sooner or later have to pass it, because otherwise the government would shut down. And I think when we look at those 21 votes, they sort of don't mind if the government shuts down.
Lee says one concession made by McCarthy is one member of Congress being able to call for a vote of no confidence in the Speaker.
What they told us is that at any moment during the next 2 years of this Congress, they might be willing to topple the Speaker.
Lee says this and other concessions may slow down proceedings.
So an appropriations bill might be debated for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months because of all the amendments that people are submitting. And
according to Lee, this is just another issue Congress will face, as McCarthy already has an extremely narrow majority. So close that the numbers needed to pass legislation might not be there if a few members are sick, if someone passes away, or if they just can't make it to the vote.
He's going to be holding his breath. Are we going to make it? Do we have enough people here?
Lee says part of what's changed in the past 10 to 20 years is the proliferation of social media and punditry. He says while in the past freshman representatives would work to gain prestige within Congress, now they often opt to speak to special interest groups or go on talk shows.
There are a group of politicians who really don't care about becoming powerful inside the institution.
One highlight of the whole process was the relaxed rules of press during the Speaker voting process, showing sides of Congress not usually allowed by either party once they're officially in power.
I almost wish that we could keep this, because I think for American citizens who are interested in politics, this is a much better way to understand how Congress works.
Wisconsin's 6 GOP representatives voted for McCarthy. The 2 Democratic representatives voted for Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. In the newsroom, Frank Healy, CBS 58 News.